In this video, I'm going to go over how to set up the Beseler Enlarger to create your contact sheet. Now, when you're creating your contact sheet, we're going to get everything set up with just the negatives out. I don't have any photo paper out at this point. The negatives are still in their sleeve because we want to protect them from getting lost or getting fingerprints on them or getting spots. So they stay in their sleeve. And we're going to get those 5 things set that I had written on the board in the other video. To get those 5 things set, we do need to turn on the light first. So I'm going to push the focus button on the timer to get the light turned on. The light is pretty hard to see in the video because of the light that is coming on my camera. But I'm going to adjust the height of it. I need to typically raise the enlarger a little bit higher when I'm making a contact sheet because I need a larger area of light. I want the area of light to be a little bit bigger than the amount of negatives that I have. I need to be able to get all of my negatives in under the light. And they typically fit better in that area of light when I turn them that way. Okay, so I'm going to have mine going that way. You can do it either way, really. Okay, but I think they fit better going this way. So I'm going to turn them like that, and I'm going to adjust the crank here to raise the enlarger up a little bit. I can see my area of light. It is quite fuzzy around the edges as well, so I'm also going to adjust the focus. Okay, and I can fit my negatives in under that and bring that up just a little bit more. So it is really hard to see the light on the camera, but I have it so that it is right out here. Okay, like I said, just a little bit bigger than my film. And I want to adjust the focus so that the edges of the light are crisp all the way around. That will be a lot easier for you to see when you don't have a flashlight, shining at your film. So you'll be able to see that in the dark room pretty well. So you're adjusting those 2 things together to get them just right. All right. The next thing is your aperture. And the aperture, remember, is on the lens at the bottom of the enlarger head here. Okay, just above your red filter, which, by the way, it's easiest to get these 5 things set up without that red filter under the lens. So make sure that's moved out of the way. Now we want to have the aperture on 3.5, which it already is. You can, again, use the light of your home screen of your phone to make sure it's on 3.5, but you can also just adjust the aperture to the brightest setting when you're looking at the light in the dark room. When you turn that all the way to the left, you will have the brightest amount of light, and that means it's at 3.5. So it's pretty easy to find. The next thing we want to adjust is the timer. So with the contact sheets, it's best to do a test strip at 2 seconds each. So we're going to lower this time so that it says 2.0. Oops, right there. Okay, so again, make sure it says 2.0, not 0.2, and not 20 seconds. Okay. The last thing we want to check are the filters. Remember, the filters on here are built into the Beseler Enlarger, and we want to make sure they are turned off. We don't want any filters on for the contact sheet because we want to see what all of the pictures are going to look like as positives without any added contrast. And then we will deal with filters when we go to do the enlargements, which will be the next step. So if you remember, over here on the side, there is a switch, and there's even a little label there. It says filtration at the top, white light at the bottom. It doesn't point all the way down to the bottom, but when that's up, that means the filters are on. So we want to have that pointing basically out straight at you, and that means that they are turned off. So just double check that. So those are your 5 things: height and focus, aperture, time, and filters. Okay? And then once you get those 5 things set, you're ready to do your exposure. We will go ahead and put the red filter under the lens before we get out any photo paper.